Can you rewind it? Right there.
She's tight. She's a hell of a time. She's tight. She's one of a kind. She's tight. She's a talented girl. She's tight. She's got her head down tighter. Touch it.
Now we ready to roll.
Inside the ManCave with Johnny Compian.
Game over, bitches.
Inside the ManCave podcast show. Follow me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Inside the ManCave podcast show, and follow me on IG and Facebook Meta.
People of Earth.
I'm going to start off with a little rant because when I saw this headline, it pissed me off because I've been talking about this on this podcast of how everything is so crazy, people are so aggressive. And then I read this. Def Leppard drummer assaulted outside of Fort Lauderdale hotel.
An arrest. It's after a man allegedly attacked Def Leppard drummer Rick Allen outside a hotel. Police say Allen was smoking a cigarette in the valet section, and that's when 19-year-old Max Hartley went at him. Hartley also allegedly attacked a woman who had run out of the hotel to help Allen. Hartley is facing multiple charges, including battery, criminal mischief, and ambushing an elderly or disabled adult.
That fueled me because it's like, what are you getting out of that? Like, what kind of thrill are you? There's other things to do, man. You know, you're 19. It's hard to read because you hear stories like this every day, you know, where people, younger people, and I mean, it happens every day. There's acts of crime on innocent people out in the streets. That's why I'm always saying it's not safe anymore. You can't go out and just, you know, have a good time and be out and about because things like this happen. And, you know, I was thinking about it at first. I'm like, where was security at for Rick Allen? I mean, you would think that after a lot of tragedy that happened in music, where these fanatics come after rock stars. And, the late, great Dimebag Darrell, we know, the story, what happened to Dimebag. And then you read this. And with all the gun violence that's going on around us in America, that's one thing I would be concerned about. And he doesn't have security. You need security 24/7 now. If you're famous, you need security. And if you're not, man, you still need security. Shit. There's crazy people out there trying to hurt you. I mean, God, you always got to have your eyes around you, your eyes over your shoulder, because you never know. Somebody might come and attack you, try to stab you or shoot you. And that's crazy, man. It pissed me off. And he hit Rick Allen hit his head, and I don't know all the injuries that he suffered. Because if you don't know, Rick Allen, the drummer of Def Leppard, lost one of his arms in a car accident years ago. I remember it.
December 31st, 1984, an afternoon drive in that Corvette would change the course of Rick's life. The crash happened fast. It was a violent rollover.
A member of a British rock group is tonight fighting for his life in a Sheffield hospital.
As the car rolled, the seatbelt came undone, and the seatbelt took my arm as I was flying out through the car.
His right arm broken, his left arm gone. This picture taken of Rick the first day out of the hospital. It would be the first day of the rest of his life. Relearning how to do everything from water skiing and shooting pool to playing the drums with just one arm.
And he came back and he's still playing. He's an amazing drummer. You read this and it's really sad to see that, because the guy is so nice. I'm sure. I've never met him before. I know people that have and said that he's so nice, very approachable, and that's cool, Why would you want to do that? According to police reports, they were saying this kid was on a rampage and breaking windows and cars and all kinds of stuff, and I guess that's where he ended up. He wanted to mess with somebody, and boom. And I'm sure that Rick Allen is still nice enough to be like, hey, man, it's all cool. No harm, no foul. But there was harm. And once again, we have to be vigilant every time you go out to the grocery store, to the gas station. If you're out having a couple of beers at a bar or a restaurant, it's come to that now, to where you have to look over your shoulder. Just going out with family and friends, there's people that want to harm you. That's very, very, very upsetting to read. And to see, you see it, like I said, on the news. Some elderly people getting pushed around, pushed to the ground and carjacked. I saw a story here locally in San Antonio where a local man was carjacked and they killed him. It was murder. It's hard to read. I mean, how could you go that far? What is so bad that you have to go that far and take somebody's innocent life away that is enjoying their life? And everybody's just trying to do what we do, right? We go and go to work, go to a grocery store, go have a drink, go get some dinner, and and I guess just try to just have like, you know, a decent time, because there's always somebody that's pissed off or something's going on lately, you know. In planes, man, people get, you know, pretty crazy. I think I was reading a story where, I don't know where it was. They were flying to, I think, Houston, and this young lady was trying to open the door, and they had to make an emergency landing. And it's like just a lot of mental illness going on in the country right now. And I read that a lot because, you know, a lot of people are going through stuff. A lot of things changed in society. And it's kind of hard to stay focused. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but things haven't felt the same for a while. And when I say for a while, I mean a few years where, you know, things are not the same. It's crazy. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And it's what I see, because I always seek out news, and I always like to read stories about what's going on around us, because that's what I've done for years. You know, being a radio producer, kind of always trying to, you know, check out the stories, and you pick them up and put them aside. You know, I want to talk about this, or, you know, you want to put your angle on it. There's a lot going on in rock and roll news. And again, Ozzy Osbourne is in the news because Ozzy is talking about making a comeback to perform on tour in a wheelchair. And I'm like, no. Ozzy, you can't do that. I don't think you don't have anything to prove, man. I know you love it. I know it's your passion. I know you are just like chomping at the bit to get that microphone and perform for us. I don't understand, because I'm not on that level. But apparently Ozzy got inspiration from Axl Rose when he had that broken leg, and he performed, you know, on a throne. And so I guess that kind of was like, wow, Ozzy's like, shit, I can do that. And I'm sure he can pull it off. And they talked about having all kinds of effects where they move him around in the chair and with video. And yeah, I can see that. Ozzy is, man, rock and roll is his life. And anything that Ozzy does, I appreciate. I've been an Ozzy Osbourne fan for years.
Hey, come on! Rock and roll!
This is Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, baby!
What the
Rocking out in my car. Rock.
The first Ozzy Osbourne album that I was getting into was Speak of the Devil. I was really into that. And then I started going back, and because Ozzy just had a lot of good music throughout his career. So now that I listen to it, I'm like, man, Ozzy, it's awesome what he's been able to do. So I just don't get it. I know it's in his blood. But sorry, I'm thirsty from talking. Yeah, I know it's in his blood, but the last time I saw Ozzy, and you can hear him on Ozzy's Boneyard. He's always on there with one of his friends. So on Ozzy's Boneyard, And the guy, Billy, I think his name, is one of his good friends. He's a DJ for Sirius. And one of Ozzy's close friends. He has good questions, and I'm glad that Ozzy opens up. But when he was on there, he didn't sound that good. But, I mean, I might be underestimating Ozzy because I don't know what kind of shape or because Ozzy, you know, he's been affected by all these injuries that he's had and surgeries, and he's not able to work out like he said. Man, I can't get up and do the things I normally did because that spinal injury that he suffered, 4 years ago, or it was longer than that. But I don't know. I mean, he would have to be in one city, right? Because you can't put him on the bus, and it's just hard for him to travel around, I'm sure. And I'm sure he would want to be somewhere where he can just hang out, finish performing, and just be at a place where it's like home. I don't know how Ozzy feels about Las Vegas since he's sober. Oh, who knows? I don't know if Ozzy's sober or not. So I think Las Vegas, they were talking about, him having a residency in Vegas. Vegas would be good for Ozzy. But I don't know about the wheelchair thing. And they're talking about the reason is because his balance is off, and they're afraid that he will fall and hurt himself again. So maybe if you can't even do that, and I'm not dissing you for this, Ozzy, but maybe it's just time to hang it up. And I hate to say that because I'm a huge Ozzy fan, but I don't want to see him that way. Because Ozzy was so energetic on the stage, and then you saw the progression year after year. Ozzy was kind of slowing down, and then after that injury, he wasn't the same after that. He even talked about that. But yeah, he's getting that inspiration from Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses, who performed with a messed up leg, and he just sat there on the throne and jammed and sang. And Phil Collins, also of the Genesis, he did his last tour on a wheelchair. And that was kind of sad to see. I saw some of it, and I was like, man, this sucks. Why not sit him behind a drum set and let him jam? He's jammed. He can jam on the drums. I don't know. I don't like seeing this. But I love my music, and I will take it in doses like that because I guess it is what it is. And Ozzy, because Zach Wilde even tweeted out like, hey boss, I'm ready whenever you are. Just let me know. And that's cool that Zach Wilde is like, hey, I'm ready to back him up. Let's do a show. So yeah, okay, I can see that. And that fires me up a little bit because Ozzy's not going to give up. And I hope, would I go see him? Would you guys go pay and see Ozzy on a wheelchair in Vegas? The Bunny Ranch welcomed Jimmy Garoppolo to Las Vegas. In a tweet, they invite him to pay them a visit. And, should they go or just kind of blow it off? And they tweet out, the Bunny Ranch tweets out at the Raiders for the team to come down at Bunny Ranch. So not just don't bring up JimmyG, bring up the whole team. And how about the special team coaches and everybody? Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Should JimmyG be like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's roll with it. let's do a promo out in the Bunny Ranch. I think that would be funny.
Hell yeah, let's go.
And that's why, this is exactly why I thought the NFL would be great in Las Vegas, because look at this. This is awesome. And I've been a Raider fan for a year. For a full season, I've been a Raider fan. And the Cowboys were, I had to kick them to the side, man, because I'm like, I didn't believe in them no more. I was done. I still am. I guess I'm going to stick with the Raiders next year or this year. So I'm excited about this move for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Can't wait. What's up, guys? Welcome, Jimmy. Yeah. Appreciate it.
So I'm excited about this move for the Las Vegas Raiders. So Garoppolo, he's 40-17 in his career record, and he helped the 49ers reach 3 NFC championship games. So I like what he brings, and people are saying, "Oh, you're getting the same thing with Carr and JimmyG," and I kind of disagree. I was in on the Carr experiment, and I knew there that when he couldn't get over the hump there in the last few minutes of games, and how frustrated he would get, I was like, this isn't the guy. Just like I say that about Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys, who is going to re-sign another 4 years, I think, for I don't know how much. He's already highest. I mean, he's up there for pay for QBs and whatever. That's the Cowboys stuff. Of course, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to have opinion about it. And I don't really care. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the Cowboys, because I've been a Cowboy fan since I was a kid. So, I want them to win at some point. But I don't know. I just don't believe in Dak Prescott. I think Jerry's like, give him one more year. But you're signing him for 4. Or who knows? It's going to be very interesting in the NFL coming up. But I'm excited for the Raiders. The Cowboys have made some good moves. And one of the big ones was getting rid of Ezekiel Elliott and picking up a receiver from the Texans. What else? Did a couple of things. And I think they lost a tight end today. Schultz, he's out. He went to the Texans, which is good. Hey, you weren't dedicated. But it's about the money, right? He was in all that anyway. Well, they can fill that with a better player in that position, and I think that would help. You got to change it up a little bit. You can't stay the same. You got to change. You got to bring different players in. You got to shake up the foundation. Keep shaking it up, Jerry, and maybe you might get something. But for right now, I'm excited for the Raiders. They got invited to the Bunny Ranch. God, that would be awesome. Hey, guys, we got an invite to the Bunny Ranch. Meet there tomorrow night about 2 a.m. Okay, cool. Everybody's in. And then I was reading, like the week before that, after they did this tweet, before that, a week before that, there was a standoff with one of the ladies of the night at the Bunny Ranch. There was a shootout, and it's like, okay, hey, you guys from the Raiders, don't worry about it. It was a dispute over money. The guy didn't want to pay, and I had to bring out the 9. It's hilarious. I'm being very facetious, but I like the way the storyline plays out in my head, because it's Vegas, baby. That's the way things go down. I mean, you couldn't do that in in Dallas or in LA, Vegas. And there was a picture that I put up where they all have a letter, against their bodies, and it spells out JimmyG. It's awesome, man. I'm so ready for NFL football again. And now the foundation in Las Vegas is shaking up a little bit with Carr out and JimmyG in. And I'm going to tell you this. When JimmyG was, at the helm and at the 49ers, I was a closet fan. I was like, man, this guy is good. But I think he got over like 60 something million to sign with the Raiders. That's cool. Either way, you win, man. I mean, you get to go to the Bunny Ranch and you get 60 mil. I don't know how much is guaranteed out of that. But he's winning, man. In Vegas. You hardly win in Vegas, right? You guys all know that. It's hard to win in Vegas unless you're JimmyG. Tweet at me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. And you can also support the podcast show on anchor.fm/Johnny5150.